What's up, everyone? So, today we're going to compare two compact dash cams, the Torvo TD3 and the DDPai Z40. Now, the Torvo TD3 is more of a budget-friendly option that delivers some solid performance. On the other hand, we've got the DDPai Z40, which is a feature-packed option that's a bit on the pricier side, but brings small functionalities to the table. Both aim to keep you protected on the road, but which one actually gives you the best bang for your buck? Let's check out. We spent quite a bit of time using both the Torvo TD3 and the DDPai Z40, and honestly, the difference is noticeable when we're actually on the road. The DDPai Z40's design language seemed more like Viofos, but it's more compact. The design goes well with most car interiors. Here, the Torvo TD3, on the other hand, is also on the smaller side, but we can see it has a wider and slightly larger display, as the bezel is way less than the DDPai one. Now, out of the box, both cams come with more or less everything to get started with. Inside the Torvo box, we found the main unit, which felt well balanced in hand. The buttons are right here beneath the screen, and yeah, they're easy to press, not overly stiff. In a separate compartment, there was the rear camera with a cable long enough to fit most cars. The box also included a power cable for the cigarette lighter port, an electrostatic sticker, a user manual, and a 64 gigs of memory card already included, which is a nice addition at this price. Like most dash cams, to get the full set of features, we needed to hardwire it. So we also bought the hardwire kit, which came with a long cable and a pry tool. Pretty standard stuff, and at this price point, expecting more wouldn't be realistic. Here, the Z40 comes with all the mounting accessories, cables, and also the user manual and installation tool. But there's no included memory card. It has to be purchased separately. Now, installation was easy for both, but because of its smaller body, the Z40 was just a little easier to tuck behind the rearview mirror. Now, when it comes to design and build, the two cameras take very different routes, and the difference in design was actually noticeable. The Torvo TD3 has a larger 3.2-inch display with smaller side bezels compared to the DDPai Z40's 2-inch screen. The larger screen felt more practical, as it made framing the shot easier and navigating menus a lot quicker. Well, with the Z40, we had to squint a bit to check if the recording angle was right. Build quality on both is solid. The Z40 blends in well behind the mirror. But here the TD3 is a bit more visible from the driver's seat. The buttons are smaller than the DDPai's and click nicely. Didn't face any rattling in both cases. Both use supercapacitors instead of lithium batteries, which is great as they handle heat better. And so far, we didn't face any overheating issue. Now, if we talk about the video resolution, this is where the differences become really clear. On paper, the Torvo TD3 shoots in 4K at 30 frames per second on the front and 1080p on the rear, while the Z40 records in 1944p, roughly 2.7K at 30 frames per second, with its Sony IMX335 sensor. So, we were curious. Daytime footage from both looked actually impressive for their price. The Z40's Starvis sensor gave slightly better sharpness and color accuracy during nighttime. The TD3, on the other hand, produced a wider field of view. It felt like we were seeing the whole street at once, which helped us in busy intersections. We noticed that when driving through tree-shaded streets, the TD3's WDR feature balanced the light really well. Even though it doesn't use a Sony sensor, the processing is tuned nicely. We'd say the Z40 looks a bit cleaner pixel for pixel, but the TD3 captures more of the scene overall. At night, both dash cams held up better than we expected. The Z40 gives it a small edge in darker areas, less noise, better exposure under dim streetlights. But the TD3's Starlight night vision actually surprised us. The TD3 captured the license plate clearly under just the headlights. That's not something we've seen often from budget cams. the WDR helped prevent the glare from headlights too. So, we can say, the Z40 did fine here, but it had a slightly narrower field of view. Now, the rear camera on the TD3 is 1080p, and for what it is, it performs well. Bright, decently sharp. Overall, both are strong performers, but if you're after more coverage and complete front and rear recording, the TD3 makes more sense. Now, this is where the personality of each dash cam really shows. Both have Wi-Fi and GPS built in, but how they handle the app experience is pretty different. The Torvo TD3 uses the Vidger app, while the Z40 connects to the official DDPai app. We tested both several times, pulling footage, changing settings, and pairing between phones. The TD3 connects using 5 GHz Wi-Fi, and honestly, that speed difference was noticeable. The live feed loads almost instantly, and downloading a clip barely takes a few seconds. And the app layout is straightforward. Everything you need is in one menu. Resolution, loop recording time, motion detection, G-sensor sensitivity, GPS stamp, and even little details like boot sound and speed units. We liked that it's simple and doesn't have unnecessary options. The DDPai app feels polished visually. We like the dual-channel storage system here. Emergency clips get backed up into internal NAND flash in case the SD card fails. However, we did feel the Wi-Fi connection was a bit slower. Sometimes the preview lagged for a few seconds before loading. Now, compared to Torvo's app experience, we expected it to be better overall, as the dashcam is on the pricier side. In terms of GPS accuracy, both did great. Speed and route tracking matched our car's data nearly perfectly. Both record GPS data on video files, which is totally useful. For us, parking mode is one of those features that separates a decent dashcam from a truly reliable one. We tested both units in a few different parking situations. The Torvo TD3 calls it 24-hour monitoring, and once we had hardwired it, it automatically woke up whenever someone walked near the car or the car got bumped. The TD3 instantly recorded and locked a 30-second clip. There was no delay or missed frame. We didn't notice any significant power draw so far. Now, the DDPai Z40's parking mode is more basic. It mainly depends on the G sensor, records when there's a physical impact or vibration, but not always when someone walks near the car. That's fine for detecting hits or bumps, but it can miss small motion events. But yeah, we didn't experience any false triggers from rain or shadows. So which one should you pick? Well, it really comes down to what matters most to you. If you want a bit of a sharper image and a slightly stealthier design, the DDPai Z40 edges ahead. Its Sony sensor gives cleaner footage during nighttime, and the compact design looks great in any car. But if you're after maximum value and ease of use, we'd say the Torvo TD3 might actually be the better choice. You're getting 4K front recording, a dual-channel setup with a rear camera included, a larger and more functional screen, and a super responsive app with 5G Wi-Fi, all for just under $100. Oh, the GPS data integration is among the best we've seen at this price. You don't usually see a built-in GPS in budget-friendly dashcams like this. Personally, we'd say the Z40 is slightly better suited for users who care about image accuracy and Sony Starvis sensor. From our experience, the TD3 was the one that made more sense. It's the camera we'd actually trust to leave in the car every day. Simple, dependable, and surprisingly capable for its price. So, if we had to choose one to keep, we'd stick with the Torvo TD3. Alright, that's a wrap on today's comparison. Which one would you love to choose? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.